Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the City of Healing, where the city resides within. Hope that everyone has started your day and it's going to be a very good day for you. Wanted to just come forth and do a brief share. One thing that I do like to do is read. Sometimes I do it more so than others, and sometimes I just sit and meditate and look at the books that I do have, where I used to keep long time ago my TV, but now I have like books there that sometimes I just sit or lie there and in my bedroom and look at the books, look at the titles of the books, remember what the books were about, maybe dream or meditate on the books. And this week, one particular book that I just kept eyeing and looking back at is a very interesting book. And to tell you the truth, I don't remember purchasing the book. I don't know if I borrowed the book. Don't remember where the book came from. But anyway, I do remember that I did read the book. It's a very good book. It's not the easiest read book, but it has very profound messages in it, some good information about the history of Black America. And the name of that book is Black Apartheid. Now, this book has been known to be a bestseller. New York Times say Harriet A. Washington, who's the author of this book, has unearthed an enormous amount of shocking information and shaped it into a riveting, carefully documented book. National Book Critics Circle Award winner, this book is. The Dark History of Medical Experimentation on Black Americans from Colonial Times to the Present. Now, this book, however you want to view it, as someone else's thought process, someone else's research. I'm not saying this is my belief, but this is a very profound book, something to look into and read. It's a winner of National Book Critics Circle Award for Nonfiction per Oakland Josephine Miles 17th Annual National Literary Award Honor Book, Black Caucus of the American Library Association, 2007, Gustavus Myers Outstanding Book Award winner. The first full history of Black America's shocking mistreatment as experimental subjects at the hands of the medical establishment. Very profound book. If you haven't read it, you check it out. I know I read this book about 5 years ago. I'm going to read it again this week, just to remind myself of some things. I can't stress enough how profound this book has led a lot of people to believing that the way that they do about current situations. And I'm just so I can't say that I forgot that I had this book. I know that I read this book, but my eyes kept glancing over. It's like, I still don't remember where I got this book. But anyway, check it out if you haven't already. I believe it's available on ebook and Kindle, but as I mentioned before, I like to have books in my hands. I have a list of books on my shelf where my TV is, and that's basically my TV. Not saying that TV is necessarily all bad. It's what you perceive and what you look at and how often you look at and how much you feel that it tells lies to your television. But anyway, another thing I wanted to come forth and just talk about, I know I've already talked about it again, and perhaps this may be called part 2, I don't know, is about basically the war within, or the military within. The human body is very phenomenal. I've seen the human body go through some very astronomical things. It's like, how in the world could the body actually survive that? I've seen, people not necessarily come from the dead, but doing code situations and come out okay, and they're still living to this day. I've seen some people go through chemo, radiation, and just you think they're not going to make it, and they make it for several years beyond a lot of other people. I've seen some miraculous things happen, and of course, I've seen the medical field help accomplish some of these things as well. However, I know that a lot of mistrust in certain aspects of, the outer world aspects of us trying to contribute to the medical field. I've seen some malinformation or mal situations happen with that as well. But like I said, the body was meant to basically heal itself if it's given the right things that's naturally from this world. And also everything basically, even if it's made in a lab, is from this world, or synthetically made from what they observe in nature. Of course, medical intervention is necessary. Surgery interventions is necessary at some points. Of course, we overuse that sometimes as well. But again, nature, you might not have it in your town, your country, but nature provides everything that we need beyond our belief and understanding. Even myself, I know that it exists. Maybe not next door or next country, but it's here. And a lot, that the sun offers us to heal, a lot that water, air, oxygen, that will allow us to heal as well. But we indeed have a military on the inside of us that is ready to fight. However, if it's synthetically made from the outside to harm us in a way of bacteria, viruses, parasites, etc., then we cannot do it. If we are sick on the inside, we are not able to heal ourselves as well. But there are things that we can do, or things that we can take, that will help supplement our life to prepare our military to fight, to protect us. And one being, and most profoundly of most, is the mind. We have to take back control of our mind. And I think one thing that hinders us from using our mind is fear. And it's what we see around us, what we hear around us, that influence us, of course, even myself. But again, we have to prepare our minds. We have to basically brainwash ourselves, even though other people might not think, hey, you're not thinking right. You still have to brainwash yourself, or someone else will do it for you. You will continuously to hear it. You'll continuously see it and feel it, and it will become a part of your reality. So most great wars, most great leaders, most great fighters, the main thing that they do above all others is become control over their mind, to prepare for the fight, to be ready for the fight, to defeat whatever exists on the outside that try to enter inside of your home to destroy it. And the number one way to do that is controlling your mind. The law of mentalism from, thought is mentalism, the law of mentalism. However you can do that, however you wish to do that, just know that fear is the greatest enemy, and you have to continue to brainwash yourself above anyone else or anything else to eliminate fear among everything. That's the greatest weapon, is preparing and making the outside world fear coming inside of your world, or defeating you. The greatest fighters in the world, if you think back on it, that's the main thing they did. They talked a lot of trash and demonstrated a lot of things, and before that opponent got into that ring, they were afraid and they could not defeat that person. So that's how, main way that we win the fight. Be mentally prepared for the fight. And again, we have to take care of ourselves, and we have to eliminate stress. Stress kills. Stress is the main thing that kills. way beyond what you eat, way beyond homicide, suicide, stress arouses so many different chemicals, adverse reactions in your body. It's unbelievable. It'll affect your mind, your body, your spirit, and it can really wreak havoc on all of your body system. And we have to decrease stress as much as possible. That meaning remove yourself and surround yourself with whatever you consider positive, whatever you consider that heals you or feeds you the best information to heal yourself, body, mind, and spirit. Stress kills. It does. Another thing, of course, you can feed yourself different things to, get your vessel correct. I'm not going to say veganism, vegetarianism is the way. I've done it for many, many, many years. And I now can't say that was the best thing for me. What works best for me right now is balance. And do not overconsume, and knowing the foods to consume and what types of foods to consume is what's working best for me, in my opinion. And we do need healthy fruits and vegetables, but not in abundance, especially fruits, because fruits have a lot of sugar in them. And as I mentioned before, I had a gentleman that was doing a watermelon fast for a few days, and he's called me. He's like, Angela, I don't know what's going on, this, that, and the other. My blood sugar has been above 800, 900, for the last couple of days, and this, that, and the other. And I've been fasting. The only thing I've been doing is eating watermelon. I was like, oh my goodness. I said, well, is the watermelon good? He said, oh man, it's nice and sweet. I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, it's the watermelon. I was like, you're not stressed? You're not having an effect? No, I'm good. I'm just wondering why my blood sugar's so high. I said, it's your watermelon. I said, I need you to come to the emergency room, this, that, and the other. So he goes to the emergency room. They flush him with saline and this, that, and the other. I called him a couple of days later. He's like, oh my gosh, you was right. I was like, well, it's not about me being right, but certain fruit are very high in sugars. And if your body is not prepared for it internally, it's not made for it, of course, it's going to be too much, and it's going to spike your sugar and do some havoc on your body. So we have to eliminate sugar as much as possible, especially if the body is sick, and especially if it's the white sugar. It's terrible for us, period. I'm guilty of cookies, but I don't overconsume. I don't, but I do love cookies, homemade cookies. We do have to eliminate sugar as much as possible. It breaks down our immune system. It breaks down the human vessel, period. That's just a known fact. That's the worst thing for the human body, really. And I think it's okay to, in my opinion, to consume some meats. I don't consume some meats, but I do consume fish. I like fish. And we have to, if we do eat the right meats, we have to make sure that it's local, it's grass fed, it's not fed soy and corn and soybeans and things like that. We want it grass fed, we want it local. Those are the type of meats. Even though they're more expensive, that's what we need to be consuming, or growing our own. Simple as that. You want the meat to be humane, of course, whatever that means to you, or well treated. So again, I'm not saying veganism, vegetarianism will make you healthier, it'll make you live longer. There's no guarantee with that whatsoever. I haven't seen that happen. And what else? There are some foods that you can consume. Green leafy vegetables are good. Minimal vitamin fruit that are high in vitamin C. Lemons are great, and even you want to use the zest or the lemon peel in your tea. That has a lot of vitamin C in it. Camu is really high in vitamin C. Those are just to name a few. Just think of the high, rich vitamin C foods as well as supplements as much as possible. Another thing is D3. D3 or the sun is the main thing that we need. I myself don't get as much sun because I don't spend hours in the sun like I did when I was little. When I was little, we spent most of our time outside, and I had to because I'm dark skinned, so it takes me longer. You need to have more than 40% of your body exposed. You don't need to take a bath or a shower for at least 24 hours. And being in a car don't necessarily count, because if you're in a car, you're also absorbing the chemicals from the car glass. So you want to be outside of the car, more than 40% of your body exposed for, if you like, for me, at least 3 to 4 hours out in the sun. And I don't, again, no sunscreen whatsoever. I don't promote that at all. Sunscreen does not, the sun doesn't cause cancer. If it did, everybody would have it. So you have to consider the amount of sun you exposed to, your skin tone, your skin color, overexposure. Of course, you're going to get burned, that type of thing. So that's just something I've talked before about. So D3, there are supplements. I do take a supplement. I'm taking it now more regularly. I'm not too keen and good on taking vitamins and supplements, but I'm staying on that D3. And you can get it in foods as well. Sometimes certain mushrooms, your organ meats, your fish, cod liver oil, mackerels, those type of things are high in D3 as well. And it's important to know when you're taking D3 at some point, making sure you're getting your K2 in it, even if it's eating your grass-fed food, which are grass-fed meats high in K2, as well as taking K2 supplements. They help absorb the D3 in the right places instead of you having it in your circulatory system, getting it in your kidneys and calcifying your blood vessels. So K2 is important to have in your diet as well. Eggs has it too, especially if the chickens are grass fed. So again, D3 or the sun is so essential, as well as consuming or having a K2 supplement so that you can absorb it in the correct way. Another thing is zinc. But with zinc, you don't want to necessarily, unless you know you're deficient in it, you don't want to take minerals singularly. You want to take them with a multi-mineral supplement, because if you take just zinc, you'll be deficient in another mineral such as copper, and they basically work hand in hand, and they like each other. It's like a woman and a man relationship, so that your body can boost its immune system. And the vitamin C and the zinc and copper and other minerals help you build up your army inside of you, your T cells, your B cells, to help fight against pathogens or parasites that enter your body. We have a military inside of us, and they are ready to fight if we're doing the work. Another thing that is excellent is making sure that you have a healthy gut, because that is your immune system as well. If you're not absorbing when you eat foods that help you build your immune system, if you have an unhealthy gut, that's going to be another part of your problem as well. We have to have a healthy microbiome, which means we have to have certain good bacteria or pathogens in our system to help us fight off as well. Including like probiotics or K2. You can find it also in yogurt or fermented foods. So that's why it's also very essential, and there's a lot of reasons why we're not able to absorb D3 as well, because our guts are unhealthy, and we don't have a very healthy microbiome in our system. Eating fermented foods maybe 2 to 3 times a week is good. I say if you're going to do a probiotic, make sure it's lactobacillus, if you can tolerate it, because the pathogens can't exist in that type of environment in your gut if you have that healthy biome microbiome in your gut. That's your second brain. That's your immune system right there in your gut. And if you have a leaky gut or gut issues, your immune system is going to be off. Some people say they get sick a lot because their immune system is down. They need to look inside of their, or know what's going on inside their gut, what they're not doing for their gut with their fermented foods, to make sure that your gut is healthy. That's something to consider. And if you do get a probiotic, make sure you take it not every day, just every other day, until your body can work its way up to it. You don't want to overdo probiotics, because you can build up a lot of a lot of other parasites in your system. It could be an overgrowth of them, which can cause other issues. So careful with the amount of probiotics that you take. Another evidence that the gut, what's the microbiome that's not in your gut, is that some people get what we call fecal microbiome implants, and it's from people with healthy guts, and they freeze their feces, and they've tested it, of course, and tested it for a certain bacteria and that's needed in your gut to help build up your immune system, that people get fecal implants. I'm not making it up. I've seen it happen once, and it's turned a person around. So that's something to think about and research as well. Let's see. Also, what's also very good for the immune system is, I said, the zinc and the copper and the minerals, vitamin C, D3, K2. I like to incorporate elderberry. I love elderberry. That's especially the black elderberry. The syrup, or the gummies or the pills, they are excellent as well to help build up your defense inside. Another thing that would be good is exercising and meditating, keeping your body in shape. We have what I call the thymus gland that I talked about before, that shrinks as we get older. And if we don't exercise, jump rope, run, it shrinks even more. So we have to jump and move and walk, and that helps build up a healthy immune system as well. Exercising is essential. Stretching is even more essential to make sure that we help build or keep our immune system strong. Also, let's see what else. I talked about foods that we can eat. I talked about exercise. And of course, yoga is excellent. Sun gazing is excellent. And those are just a few things to continue to help build up our defense on the inside of us. And it's no guarantee to say that, hey, you will never get sick, but it is a way to definitely say that you can build your military and prepare them for war to fight off. And if you're not able to fight it off, it's perhaps because the body is very sick, or it's not natural and your body is not able to. So, and also we have to watch where we're exposed or where we are. If we're in an environment that has a lot of disease or a lot of germs there, we have to remove ourselves from that as well, mentally, physically, emotionally, because if you're overconsumed with dis-ease on the outside of you, it can also make you sick on the inside as well. So these are just a few things and to talk about off the top of my head. There's really rarely any script to what I say, just speaking from heart and from thought, ways to build our army, our immune system. But this is basically what it is, our immune system, to ward off and fight for our lives. And again, unfortunately, we're not meant to live here forever on this planet, but we ourselves, we live on the inside of ourselves. When we come out, we are forever. There's no doubt about that. We go back where we came from. and this world is basically temporary. And of course, there's things that surround us that keep us in fear. And sometimes I even question myself sometimes also, but I'm always brought back to my reality. And remembering, continue to trying to remember and go back to remembering who we really are. That fear is very, very small and love reigns all. Anyway, that's it for now. Hopefully this is helpful, something to think about, something to build on, something I'll probably even come back later to continue to talk about, something that I may have forgotten today. But there is so much to look into building a healthy immune system. And it's hard to say, in general what everybody should do because everybody is different. You can't tell everybody to do the same thing because, again, like I said, everybody is different. But this is just some general information. Always consult with your doctor. If it resonates with you, that's good. Build upon it and protect yourself, protect your environment, go within, and be the best that you can be, of course. Anyway, thanks for visiting the city, and I hope that you'll have a wonderful day.